Got a time lapse for you of one of our latest storms. Nice, easy, about 1.5 inches that we got overnight. We started in the morning on this push, and here you can see us doing one of our strip malls. Pretty easy, not many cars, which made it a lot easier. This lot can get pretty full. Got a couple restaurants on it, so nighttime plowing is pretty much a necessity on this account. But as you can see, it's pretty clean, pretty open. Scraping down all the lot, trying to locate all of our piles downhill from anything, just so once it melts, it runs, it's not running across parking lots, causing ice issues. So I'm running a Case 321F payloader with a 12-foot cage on the front. Personally, it's one of my favorite setups for snow removal. We're in southern Wisconsin. Back in the day, we used to get a lot of snow, but now we deal with a lot of little storms. We probably usually get about 2 or 3 big, 10 to 12-inch storms a season, but most of them are these little 1 to 3 inches. Snowfalls makes it very easy to clean up. 12-foot cage so far has been one of my favorite plows. We do run a couple Arctic sectionals as well, which are nice. But for me personally, I do believe that the cage is probably one of the most versatile plows on the market. The thing with the cage is you can take that blue box that you can see on the plow, and that actually comes off and it converts to a straight blade. I will be doing that later in the storm. You'll see. That was not me just there running a red light. Here I go over across town to another commercial site. Nothing crazy. For the cage though, compared to an Arctic, you can only push straight forward with those plows. This one, as you can see, I can kind of angle it and windrow it off to the sides, which I like the most. You're not forced to push it just straight forward. You can shove it pretty much wherever you want. This was just a quick push. We had, as you can see, snow was still coming down, so it wasn't what I call end-to-end push. We were just opening everything up so that the sidewalk crews could get in and get the sidewalks done, and we actually wrap around at the end of the storm and hit this one more time. Nothing crazy. Here we go over to some apartments. We do a lot of apartments being in a college town. There are a lot here in town. But here is one that I'm doing. Nothing crazy. So over here you can see one of my other crews already plowed this parking lot. I just swing through, and the city plows come through and leave windrows in the entrances, so I'm just cleaning those up, shoving snow where I want it. Again, this plow is very versatile. Here you go. Here's a little live view. Sidewalk's nice and cleaned up. Here's another apartment complex. With these apartment complexes, what we typically do, you can see I kind of hit all the main aisles, and after that, we usually give them a couple hours, and we actually come back in the afternoon. A lot of tenants tend to go to work during the day, so then later in the afternoon we can swing through. You can see I'm trying to hit all the parking, all the open spots as best as I can. We come back in the afternoon though, and a lot of the cars are then gone, and we can touch up all those parking spots. If they don't move their cars in the afternoon, we don't plow it. They just gotta shovel it or wait till the next storm. Nothing crazy. This was a pretty light storm. I think we were dealing with about 1.5 inches. Maybe 3 inches, a lot of wind. You can see this lot barely had any snow in the center. But again, just cleaning up on the perimeters, getting everything pushed away. Here's another apartment. Again, nothing crazy. This one's nice and straightforward. With the plow being 12 foot, we are pretty limited as far as getting in between cars. but we do our best to clean it up as best as possible. See there, if you get 3 to 4 parked car, empty stalls, we can sneak in there and get them all cleaned up. You can see the sidewalk crew's not been to this site quite yet. Sidewalk crew usually runs behind our plows. Sometimes they run ahead. Our routes are usually about 4 to 6 hours long. So usually sidewalk crew starts with one crew, but we've got about 4 crews out plowing snow and about 2 sidewalk crews. So when it comes down to it, sometimes we'll all be on the same site, and sometimes I'll beat them to one site, and sometimes they beat me to the site. So it varies every job. We only service our little town, so everything's very close knit, but we do service a lot of accounts. Here's another college rental. Nice thing is this week the kids were off for Christmas break, so all of our college rentals were nice and empty except for this one. Got a car there, and of course with the 12-foot plow, can't get in everything. There's the downtown Whitewater. Here's one of my buddies, Jake Leisure, painting. Good painting guy for your local guy. I've been buddies with him since high school, so we're just cleaning up his lot. He's right in the midst of my accounts, and then we're back at one of our, it's not a hospital, but a medical facility, and these accounts are zero tolerance, so you can see there's not much on the ground, but they do have the expectations that if there's anything on the ground, we go there and clear. And then right behind me, we do have a salt truck that with about a 2-yard salter in the back of it. And once we leave an account, we call him out. He comes out, tosses salt. So I think right as I was leaving that one, he was somewhere right behind me, throwing salt down right away. Especially with those medical facilities, they want clean parking lots at all times, and we do our best to keep it that way. Here we go, another apartment. Again, typically when I plow these, we have about 20 to 30 cars sitting out in this parking lot. It is a pain in the ass to push snow here, but as you can see, nice and open. I love it when the kids are back home. Makes it much easier to plow. Videos coming up, you'll see this parking lot absolutely stuffed with cars, and we are typically sneaking snow in and every, trying to sneak it around cars as best as possible. So we finished that storm during the day. We weren't able to hit all the parking spots, and we ended up having about 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. So this is that evening. We went back out to clear out drifts. We had a lot of drifting. A lot of our sidewalks were covered up, so we had to retouch up all those. And then as you can see, I'm just swinging through all my main commercial accounts, touching up, wherever wind, blew the snow around. See me hooking up to my cage box. There's the best sidewalk crew in Whitewater. Jeff and Poncho hitting the walks. Here over at Walmart, you can see a lot. This was actually all plowed prior to the wind, and it just blew over. You can kind of see the wind patterns on the ground. So I just take my plow and touch it all up, so the salt truck, is as effective as possible. Try not to throw down salt until everything's cleaned off the lots. It's just impractical. Scrape it down first. Get everyone's a lot of people pull into these parking lots and brush off their cars, and they got crud falling off the bottom of their vehicles. So we scrape it up as best as possible, pushing everything to the outsides as much as we can. As you can see, this lot's nice and open. The nice thing about our Walmart is it does close in the evening. So the cars you see parked there are actually just employees. I believe they're restocking the store. So we're able to get this lot really well cleaned up. I'd hate if the store was 24 hours, because that would definitely be a lot more of a pain to work around vehicles, all night long. Here you can see I'm just going around. Over here at these locations, we run a Case tire machine, little skid loader, and that has a 10-foot Arctic sectional on the front. So with it being a vertical lift, it does not push snow. You can see my plow sits, I want to say about 10 to 15 feet in front of my tires. So I'm able to really shove these piles over the curb. Unlike him, he's pretty limited as far as when he gets up to the curb. Just kind of going around all the curbs, pushing everything off. A lot of wind blew a lot of snow around. Here's your local Starbucks, getting all this cleaned up, pushed back. Nothing crazy there. Again, we're just trimming around everything, making sure it's all perfect for morning when everyone pulls in. Pushing everything off curbs. Yep. Cleaning up any open stalls in the hotel parking lot. Shoving back curbs for my skid loader guy. Try to shove them back as much as I can because the next storm it'll pile up again and be a problem. Here I am back at that strip mall. We've got we plowed during the day and we opened up the aisleways, so we had to just go back and touch those up. Here we got one of our businesses in the industrial park that we've done for a couple years. Got my media guy Slade out there videoing, getting some cool drone shots as I service this account. Pretty easy. This one does have, these guys do have a night shift, so there are a couple cars here, but 4 I think at the most. So it is pretty easy to service. Pushing everything out to the grass. Nice thing about this lot is it does not have curbs all the way around, so we are able to service it super easily. A lot of times when you have those curbs, you're always knocking into those. Got the loading docks. Nothing too crazy on this one. Got a cool drone shot coming up here. I'll show you. Got back drag from the doors. Here you go. So here's how I service these accounts. Again, just kind of pushing all the snow to a certain area away from the building. Then here's a badass video from up the top of the cage in the case. Again, it's nice having a guy that knows how to fly these drones and catch these cool shots. Here we got another business in the park. This one does have curbs around everything. So I actually slow down quite a bit just because when you're going up to those curbs, after you smack a couple, doing this for a couple years now, you definitely learn not to go up to them too quick. So back dragging away from all the doors, pushing everything to the outsides. That's the name of the game out here. Getting all the curbs nice and tight. Around to the back. This parking lot, again, this place is shut down as well. Makes it much easier to snowplow. Don't have vehicles to work around, but on this site we do have a lot of curbs to work around, so this one takes a little bit extra time compared to the other sites, but we make it happen. Nothing too crazy. So here we are back over at Jake's shop, getting his lot plowed. Buzzing over to the bank. Another one with curbs all the way around, so you just gotta go slow, back drag everything appropriately. Try not to break my neck. Hitting all the curbs. There's Slade again, catching all of our content. Getting all this shoved around. It's again why I really like this the cage. You can really get around all these corners well. Here's a little house that we landscaped this past summer. Nice retaining walls and lighting there. Here we are back at that medical facility. Again, nighttime, this place is empty. And really, nighttime is the best time to plow because you're not working around vehicles and people and traffic on the roads, all of that. We really try to plow as much as we can at nighttime. So here I am cleaning up that facility again, shoving everything to the outside, moving across town, moving across the street to a little site. Pretty easy. And then here we go back at the strip mall, cleaning up the parking stalls on that one. You can see the main aisles were already done and salted, so is just cleaning up where all the cars were parked, shoving all that down. Nothing too special here, making sure everything's clean. Moving right down the road to another site, making sure all the aisles are clean. Here we're back at the hotel. Parking lot was pretty open, so I was able to clean up probably 90% of their lots. You can see I disconnect the box there. I like to back drag without the box as much as possible. It does a little bit of a cleaner job. Rehook it up, push the snow where I want it. Very easy, very nice. Then here I head over to our Walmart, cleaning up all that, hitting the back parking lot. Got to get out and move the shopping cart there. Very adamant, none of my guys nor I ever move any shopping carts with our snow plows. It's a good way to destroy a shopping cart, so we move them all by hand, which can be a pain, but keeps the managers there happy. They don't find any carts in their snow piles at the end of the season like some places. But here's Nate with a salt truck, just telling him what to get salted, what I've got finished. And yeah, pretty easy cleaning up the lot again where all the cars were parked, getting everything shoved to the outsides. Here's right next door, trying to get all the piles shoved back for the next storm. Payloader is the best. I try to go through all the accounts with the payloader at least once every storm, just to shove the piles back. The skid loader really can only push maybe 5 feet in front of it, stacking snow wise. So it's really nice just to take the payloader through. Here I'm back at those apartments, cleaning those up. This storm you can see we got about 2 inches on the ground again. Back at these college rentals. Again, super nice having the lots nice and empty. Back at these lots as well. Again, these lots are a pain to plow when it's covered with vehicles. So it is nice having these guys empty. We can definitely service our accounts a lot faster. Head down to the streets to a couple more rentals. These ones are pretty tight. I bet you most of those lots we have about 14 feet of clearance on the sides. So my 12-foot plow can fit in them, but sometimes it gets a little hairy. But nothing that we can't figure out. 12-foot cage is, to me, one of the best sizes I've enjoyed. Here you can see I dropped the box at the beginning. This site's nice and wide open, so I'm able to clear it with just a straight blade setup, which is nice, especially when you hit this parking lot right here like I am. You can pretty much windrow everything to the outside, and saves a lot of time, makes it go very quickly, which after 6 hours in a loader, you're going for speed. Here's another view. This is one of our other payloaders over at one of our large commercial sites. He's pushing, again, we're only pushing about 2 inches here. Nothing too crazy. Have to back drag from all the doors. Again, it's really proud of all my guys. I've got really great operators. Everyone takes a lot of pride in their work, as you can see, which is very, very important to me as far as our company goes. We're not a huge operation, but we pride ourselves in our accounts, and we also pride ourselves in our quality of work. And yeah, you can see that in how we snowplow. There's a grass patch between there, so he is not, as you can see, he's stopping right there. It's deceiving. A lot of times when you're in these big loaders, you don't notice how fast the grass comes up. This is a John Deere 23,000 pound payloader, an older piece of iron. It's got a 16-foot push box on the front with a rubber cutting edge. Works great. You can see it scrapes down pretty nicely. This site It is open 24 hours. They got staff there. During the night shift, you can see it's pretty darn empty, which makes it a lot easier to clear. Again, you can see us, we shove everything to the outsides. They have these yellow little poles through the parking lot there, and of course the distance between them is about 12 foot, so he is not able to sneak between them. Makes it difficult to get around, but yeah, he gets it done. We had about a couple weeks ago, we had a 12-inch storm. You can see the big snow piles there already. I wish I could have gotten footage of that storm. That storm was nuts. We went for about 30 to 40 hours straight plowing, keeping these lots open, making sure that they don't have to shut down. That's the main goal. These businesses don't make money when they're shut down, so we usually sit here on site. You know, as long as the snow's coming down, we're here plowing, keeping it open. See, he's getting between all the cars, which is, especially with this size loader, very difficult. When you got 16 foot, you need about a minimum of 3 cars, empty lot and empty stalls to be able to get through them, get them opened up. I do not know how many acres this site is, but it is one of our largest accounts. But with this loader, definitely makes it easier. As you can see, there is constant semi-traffic through these lots. See how many trailers they have. They're constantly moving trailers day in and day out. Nighttime doesn't stop, so it's very important with those little shuttle trucks that move those trailers around. They get stuck super easy, seeing that they only have one axle. So it's very important for us to be here during the storm like this. You know, you can kind of see it's still snowing a little bit, but to keep these lots clear so that they can get around, they don't have to shut down or lose production. Once the workers are parked here, though, the nice thing is no one really moves around the parking lots much until the shift change. So you can see there's cars here, but there's not. Once they're parked, they're safe, they're inside. And then we have the shift changes. My driver here knows all the shift changes, so he's able to clear the lots before they all come in, and then that way, safety reasons, you know, people are walking on a nicely plowed lot. Again, very adamant, we never push snow into the streets. Never gotten in trouble for it. Don't ever plan on getting in trouble for it, but had a couple people who work, a couple buddies of mine work for the city. They told me, they're like, hey, they warned me once when I was in high school. They're like, never ever push snow across the street. Causes hazards, especially when you're running big loaders like this. You'll have a huge pile of snow in front of you. If you just stop in the middle of the street or something, car comes, very big liability issue. You can see Mark's getting around everything super tight, super well, especially for a 16-foot box. It's very difficult to do. Nice thing is there's not many cars here. You can see how tight we get to everything. Very important. Shoving everything downhill as much as possible keeps everything clean. Also, when the snow melts, when it warms up and then it freezes at night, if you have your snow pile sitting at the top of a lot, they'll melt and drain across the parking lot, causing slick spots. And so my rule of thumb is always push downhill. Sometimes that's not always possible, but as you can see, we always push to the outside of the lot or to the far end to where it won't drain across the parking lot. Here's another entrance he's cleaning up. Back dragging away from the building. We don't push any snow up against these buildings. There's room for it. There's a grass patch there, but again, we push all of our snow out and down to the very ends. You can see he's working around these cars, which when you have these vehicles here, it is you can see how much more time it takes them to work around each of these vehicles. Back dragging the semis, getting those all cleaned up. There you go. You got another semi moving a trailer. constant traffic in the site, constant semis moving around, and yeah, we gotta keep it clean to keep access, keep everyone moving. Again, I love doing these time lapses. As a boss, it makes you very proud of how efficient, sometimes you get lucky hiring guys like this who, have run equipment as much as they have. These guys run machinery as I would. You see the time lapses of me in the case 321F. I'd have to say Mark's better than me. We both plowed snow pretty much all of our lives. But this is a big snow plow. This one's very tough to get around all these little spots. These are nice, wide open, pretty big parking lots, but we both have, I'd have to say, over 10, 15 years of experience plowing snow. And I really enjoy watching these videos because you just see how efficient everyone is. And some guys just bounce around like, I've had some younger guys snow plowing and they just kind of bounce around here and there, But my more experienced operators, like Mark here, you can tell, very detail oriented. Those parking docks, you can kind of tell from the video, they're angled down. So the semis have a real pain trying to get out of there when there is snow on the ground there. So you can see backdrags from each one of those trailers, nice and clean, and then shoves all the snow down and out. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic, and I mean, this is at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and this is how much traffic we're dealing with. Nothing crazy. It's nice having a loader just parked at this one site. He just sits here and keeps everything clear. But yeah, it's insane how much traffic they have for being this early in the morning. Here he's doing the aisleways again, cleaning all those up and everything he hit before. See, it was still snowing when he got here, so we try to be on site during the storm as well, especially here, just to keep the access open, and then we just kind of have to go back through and retouch everything up after the fact, keep all the aisles open. On sites like this, you'll do a section. You can see just bought an area where a car was parked, and then you just keep working around the parking lot until you have everything 100%. If you think of it, please hit subscribe, leave a comment, hit like the video. Let me know if you got any questions on any of our equipment. We will be posting more videos coming up here, and yeah, please follow our journey.